let's call the meeting of September 19th to order. Can we have a roll call, please?
Patricia Felton.
Dr. Felton here.
Dr. Felton. Kelly Garrett.
Here.
Mike Green.
Here.
Danielle Huey.
Here.
Charlotte Jones. Bruce Cantor.
Here.
Fred Prime. Pam Schumeyer.
Here.
Dan Sugg. And Alex Reen. The individuals who are not here did notify me in advance that they would be absent.
Okay, can we get a motion to approve their absence?
I'll make a motion.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, let's move on to approval of the agenda.
I'll move to approve the agenda.
Can I get it?
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, and on to approval of the minutes. Note that these are the July meeting minutes. Our August meeting was canceled due to a lack of quorum.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, on to the consent agenda. You know, I did have a question about the financial reports, but I can't remember what it is now.
You're always welcome to email me or call if you have
Yeah,
any questions.
let's go that route then. Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. On to public comment. Anyone in the audience care to talk at this time? If so, go up to the podium. Not really a podium, is it? It's more of a lectern.
Looks like it.
Yes. Sorry, yeah, that's the only one on here.
It's the only one on here, but.
Yes, this will be the only time.
Okay.
Laura Barris, I just want to thank you for your investment in the Lathrup Village Music Festival, and it was a great success, and everybody had a lot of fun, and we are constantly in the mode of what can we do better. So if you haven't already emailed me to let me know what you liked and what you'd like to see done differently, I invite you to do that. But thank you very much for your investment in it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Part of the planning process is quite deep, and it's a lengthy process, and it's something now that last year I jumped in about it was halfway through the planning process when I got here, and luckily Lauren was at the helm, and she kind of helped guide us through that process. And now that I've been able to go through an entire cycle from debriefing from the previous year to taking feedback, which this body was the one who gave us the input for the family area, and it was such a success. It changed the environment and the grounds, and we are going to run with it again next year. We already have some ideas about what we could improve for kids, like teenagers that would engage with them. There's a local resident who owns a game truck where it has an opportunity for kids of, who are between 13 and 16 or really into gaming that could really engage and bring more people out. And also, I think everybody who worked the Family Zone Parks and Rec Committee just blew it out of the water. They did a fantastic job. So there's some things internally I think we can do better from our side of things. And I already have some ideas of how to improve that now that I've been able to go through the entire cycle. But yeah, please give us your input, and it was great to see everyone there. So thank you. And we invited the Lathrup Village Chamber of Commerce to come and speak and tell us about the activities they're planning to do and the coordination. We look forward to working with them.
Thank you. Thank you for the invite. My name is Annette Green. I am the Vice President of the Lathrup Village Chamber of Commerce.
And my name is Mark Watts. I'm the President of the Lathrup Village Chamber of Commerce. And we have a couple of events that we have coming up. One of them will be actually today we'll be out canvassing the neighborhood and speaking with some of the businesses. And on October 24th, we will be hosting our first mixer. So we'll have, we'll be inviting everybody out. We'll have a few keynote speakers and some interactive games and some different things to just sort of break the ice and get the ball rolling on being a successful chamber in the city of Lathrup Village. It's the first of our own. So we're looking forward to engaging with the community as well as the business owners and just creating an ecosystem so everybody supports each other.
Thanks, Mark.
Okay.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well,
That will be at Paddle and Par. It's right up the road where the old Bed Bath & Beyond is.
Is there a time you got right now for it?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
Yep, so I actually have a meeting with them today to finalize everything, so.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you see your group interacting with the DDA? In other words, how can we help each other? Or-
Engaging with the community and, just support.
Okay.
I'm a member of, treasurer of the Lathrup Village, so, being a member of the board as well as with them could help
Okay.
coordinate things between the two of us.
There's been many case studies that show that cross membership of boards really help the community and provide better results when instead of bodies being separate and not engaging with one another or having certain membership that doesn't cross over. It just provides more opportunities for projects to move forward and also people to provide those connections, the human connections that provide results to projects and efforts. And we look forward to working with Mark and we also will be walking the streets with him this afternoon to engage with the business community and let them know that we are here to support them.
One thing I wanted to ask also, so the Lathrup Village Chamber of Commerce is just another question, put in the form of a question. It's just another layer on help to our businesses so they can still be a part of the Southfield Area Chamber of Commerce. It's just going to be where you all are more focused directly on our businesses in our city.
Yes.
Hyper-localization.
Okay.
And then also we have Oakland Thrive, who is also here to help our businesses. So we are, I think the first time we met with Oakland Thrive, they kind of felt like, oh, I hope you guys don't feel like we're stepping on your toes. And I was like, absolutely not. We feel like they're a asset that we can work with and our businesses can work with. And the three of us, Oakland Thrive, the LV Chamber, and LVDDA can all work together just to help our
Yeah,
business
I
community.
just brought that up only because I know that there's been talk of why do we have a Lathrup Village Chamber of Commerce when we have the Southfield area one.
Mhm.
Let's get it on record.
You said, why do we have that?
No, I'm saying that's why I was getting on record of how it's gonna help the businesses. It's just another layer of help for the
Yeah.
businesses.
It's not a replacement, it's just that
Yeah.
additional layer of help.
Okay.
Exactly. This will allow us to bridge both Southfield and Lathrup Village with resource sharing and networking.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Appreciate it.
All right. Should we move on to old business? No old business to support, to announce?
No, nothing.
We've tied everything up in a bow. Okay. New business then. Austin, what about our T-shirt reimbursement?
Yes, so during our, we were supposed to have our August meeting, but we were unable to hold the meeting due to lack of quorum. So luckily, during that meeting, we were going to review proposals for the official T-shirts to be printed for the Lathrup Village Music Festival, the third annual. And we received quotes from 2 contractors, and the lowest bidder was the vendor from last year, TDMK Silk, who did a fantastic job, and we got quite a few strong feedback on the quality of the shirts, and also it was something that I think they really did above and beyond what they did last year, and they did a really good job last year. So luckily, even though we weren't able to hold the meeting, the city was able to step in and provide the funding to cover the cost for the initial purchase of shirts. So I come to you today asking for the DDA to be able to reimburse the city $1,339 for the 2025 Lathrup Village Music Festival T-shirt purchase through TDMK Silkscreen.
I'll make the motion to move to authorize reimbursement to the city of Lathrop Village in the amount of $1,339 for the 2025 Lathrop Village Music Festival T-shirt purchase made through TDMK Silkscreen.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, let's move on to holiday lighting proposals.
So it is that time of year again where we will be looking for a contractor to provide holiday lights. We drafted and published an RFQ and sent it around to potential contractors. We were able to get 4 who expressed interest in providing the lighting for this year and for installation. 3 responded. The lowest bidder was the contractor last year who provided our lighting, Lucent Landscape and Lighting, which they did a phenomenal job. They were easy to work with, and the lights themselves were above and beyond what we expected. And we have the renderings and concepts from each of the contractors. They were all within $900 of each other. But first is from Christmas Light Guys. So this is some of the work they've done for this is commercial and residential. These are some testimonials they got from the city of Southfield, Oakland, Michigan, and Clinton Township. This is their proposal. And then there were some additional, this is larger views of what their type of work looks like. And this is from Lucent Landscaping. They are going to do the same as last year, but they provided some different options we could go with. So because we're a returning customer, they are offering to do the exact same installation as last year's, but do it for $1,000 less than what they were going to charge compared to last year.
So is this $9,000 reflective of the 1,000?
Yes.
The 9,000 is, it does not include any of the additional options though. So
Yes.
options B through D are not included in that 9,000.
Okay.
So I think, yeah,
That's true.
it's like 10 grand if we want to do all A through D. The DDA did budget 12 grand this year for holiday lights, so we have some wiggle room.
So this, as you can see, option A would be what we got last year, the front of City Hall, the trees along the north and south, and the gazebo behind City Hall, which would be with the $1,000 discount. Option B would be wrapping large maple at California and Sunset in multicolors, as well as the light posts with wreaths. So this would be behind City Hall alongside the gazebo. And option C would be that, as well as the pavilion having lights around it, garland going down the light post, and one of the large trees and alongside the pavilion being covered in light. It is my understanding that the pavilion had been covered in previous years, but last year we did not include that in the proposal. And then option D would include some anchoring, and that is something we are not interested in. That would actually require permanent anchors to be installed into the masonry, and we don't have any desire to have any of that in City Hall, because it could result in long-term damage. And then option D also continued with the monument sign. So here are the different different options. They range from $9,000 to $10,000. And then here is their quote with that discount. And then as a city, we would not pay the sales tax. And this is from Pink Pro Holiday Lights.
I have a question for the
Yeah.
last one. Could it be somewhat of a la carte, like what if you want option A, but you want to add on where the tree that's next to the pavilion gets lit up and the monument sign in the front gets lit up?
Yeah.
The monument sign, and then what was the one
The
behind?
tree that is next
tree.
to the pavilion,
Oh,
but
okay.
you can see it from Southfield Road.
Last year, we discussed, I'm so close to
No,
this.
you're good. It echoes through the TV.
Oh, okay, that's why I
Not
kept
to
looking,
worry.
like, what is
Yeah.
that? Okay. Last year, we discussed having a tree lighting ceremony, so would that tree qualify for that, or
That's a good question. That would be
y'all don't remember that from last
of
year?
a large size. Yeah, that is something, because last year we did the Winterfest,
Yeah.
where we did do the lighting inside. But yeah, I could see us doing something around the pavilion, doing like hot cocoa, have the fire going in the pavilion, and then actually do the lighting of that tree. That would be a good, yeah.
It's nice.
I like that idea. We try to get local businesses involved.
You got the chambers right there.
Chamber could work with us.
Oh, yes.
And
You're like, yes.
the contractor is fantastic, so they're willing to work with us, and it was their idea last year to do the lighting around the entrances on the PD and City Hall side, which a lot of residents really did enjoy. And he wanted to be here today, but he, unfortunately, with his schedule, was not able to make it. But yeah, we could do an a la carte where we do kind of pick what we'd like. Would having the pavilion lit up something you would like, or would you prefer?
Me, no.
Okay.
Just because the pavilion really isn't used at all in the wintertime. I could see the tree, because that would certainly be visible still, from Southfield Road, but, and if you want to do this, a lighting ceremony, if we're lighting up the gazebo, you could, say your words there,
Yeah.
and people would still be able to see the tree. I'm not sure they could coordinate it so that we have an actual
But
bing, turn on the light.
That one was lit up at one point, I just can't remember what year.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
it
did it a
was.
couple of years, we did that.
Yeah, and they did have a button,
yeah.
or somebody stood behind it.
Yeah.
Right, and plugged it
Yeah.
in.
If anything, it's one of staff just standing
Right.
behind the
Yeah.
panel. Just
Yeah.
Right, right.
hopefully hit the plug. Yeah.
Right. I also would be cautious about putting lights all over the monument bed, because we just last week planted more
The
than 100
perennials?
little,
Okay.
little baby
Yep.
plants.
Well, I'm just talking about
Um,
just around the monument, not that extra in the
Yeah.
ground.
Yeah. I actually liked another proposal that had the garlands, just simple garlands with
Put on
red
top.
ribbons on either side of the monument. I thought that was very pretty.
Was that from the next contractor?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can take a look at their renderings. So this is some of the work they've done. So here would be the front, it would be the pillars, and then the top edge, the trees along the side, similar to what was done last year, around the employee entrance, and then this is what you're,
Yeah.
that's
okay.
pretty.
Not, it's hard to see there, but yeah,
So maybe no lights on the monument, just the garland?
maybe, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because last year they did put in the lights that were here, these sparkles.
Yeah, I mean, they look fine, they look good.
Yeah. Just be very
But,
cautious.
Yeah, it'd be pretty tough to install them without trampling the baby plants.
So, and then would you want the shrubs around lit up, or?
If they're on the edges, that would be an option, yeah.
So if you want to give, he's very open to being adaptable and figuring out what it is that we want. So we could go to him, say, do what you did last year, and then have the tree next to the pavilion lit up as well. Because I also like the one thing we were going to remove is the employee entrance had some lighting around it,
Yeah.
and we're going to remove that. So the funds and lights that were going to be there could be used elsewhere.
That's a
So if
good
you want to
idea.
give like a budget cap, and then I could work with him on the final concept.
Right.
So if we put the garland on there, will people be able to see it at night? Because it kind of.
No, that wouldn't.
Oh.
There are some lights around it, so they might be able to see it from the existing light, but there would be no additional lights to it.
Oh.
But the sparkles actually did, they did pop. They're kind of like what you'd have in your flower bed out front, those solar lights. They're very similar to that. And we got good feedback from last year's lights.
It was pretty.
Yeah, I mean, they could still do them, just don't put them in
Yeah.
the garden itself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Put it
Put it
around
around it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are a few things about the Pink Pro that I did like, in addition to the wreaths, and that was the public entrances. I thought they did a nice job with that, with 2 columns lit up. Yeah, right there, yeah, the 2 columns
That
lit
looks
up and a
nice.
little like
The,
almost movie marquee across the top.
I'm not sure why it's not in Lucent Landscaping's renderings, but this is what they did last year.
They did,
So
okay, all
we
right.
could have this exact same on the police department side and on the administrative side.
All right,
I like the candy cane effect on the front from the other company though.
Okay.
It's pretty.
Yeah.
Not saying you have to pick them, but maybe
Right.
they could do that. It's pretty.
particularly if they could do it more like a candy cane
Yeah.
shape rather than layer cakes of the 2 flowers. I mean, this just could have been all they could do in their graphic program, but
Yeah.
if it actually would look like a candy cane, yeah,
Pretty.
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, we could definitely work with the contractor about getting 2-tone lighting for the pillars.
Yeah.
$15,000 later. Okay, I'm just joking.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Or-
we did a lot of research into purchasing our own lights, and it's quite expensive.
Yeah.
We talked about, I think, having like a tree out front, and we need a grant to cover that
Oh,
type
wow.
of, yeah, it's tens of thousands.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I mean, if we go with Lucent again, I think it might be nice to do some minor variations, either the candy cane
Yep.
coloring on the pillars, or leave the pillars white and maybe do some green.
They had some
and/or-
color on the ends
Yeah,
last
the,
year.
believe they
the
did.
tree.
Yeah.
Did we?
Trees.
Yeah, there was
Okay.
there
You
was
recall
color
that?
because I remember I came out and I was photographing it and there was
And
colors.
in the trees there were.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bruce took a fantastic photo of it last year, and actually, the owner wanted to speak with you about
Oh.
potentially using it for his promotional material.
I'm totally open to that.
All right,
So,
I'll get him in touch with you.
yeah.
So if you'd like to just have a budget cap, we will go off of what is proposed from Lucent, but then make those a la carte changes of adding in the the colors on the front, and then also having the tree next to the pavilion lit up, and then we could talk about planning a tree lighting ceremony, maybe something like we did last year, where we had different stations in the community room and activities for families to come and do throughout. And actually, one of our contractors for the music festival asked me about doing any type of winter or holiday theme event, because they have some different activities they do, and also can come in. Her husband does Santa, and then
Wow.
she does some different holiday, like we had the Grinch last year. We could have some other character of the holidays come.
Sounds cool.
All right.
All right, so what do we think is a reasonable cutoff amount for our budget? 10,000?
12.
You budgeted 12. If you want to go less, you can. And after their proposals, 9
Nine.
before we
Yeah.
start adding anything. So 10, 11 would probably be reasonable.
Yeah, I think we could accomplish everything with 10.
With 10.
Yeah.
Okay, so would somebody like to make a motion to that effect?
I'll make the motion. I authorize the DDA director to reimburse the city in the amount, wrong one. So I'll make the motion to approve the contract with Lucent,
Lucent Landscape.
and spend no more than $10,000 on the project.
I'll support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay. All right, moving on. Additional hours for Parks and Rec activities.
So during Monday's study session, we had our city's Parks and Recreation Committee come speak about the current struggles they feel like they're facing with the lack of support when it comes to city staff. And it was proposed having somebody come on part-time and help Parks and Rec move their initiatives along. And I think really what they're trying to accomplish is more infrastructure improvements with the parks. And that's going to require grants and somebody actually working on applying for grants, researching grants, but also having different efforts that has a staff person to represent them. And we propose that the DDA, which I do have a memo, but it does not look like it got
For the
attached.
cost.
Yeah, it's here.
Is it on there? All right. Because I'm just going to pull it up because part of a DDA is helping bring the community together, but also making it a place, making it a viable place where young families want to come and locate. So I'm going to pull the memo up so that we can touch upon the different aspects that I believe justifies the DDA providing the funding for having a staff person. It'd be 4.5 hours additionally per week. So they would attend Parks and Recreation Committee meetings, assist with planning, coordination of park improvement initiatives, provide project management support for park enhancements, community program, and serve as the communication link between the community, city staff, and the DDA. Although parks projects may fall outside the geographic boundaries of the DDA, enhancing Lathrup Village Park System directly supports the DDA's mission to strengthen the city's commercial corridor and business community. If a vibrant and attractive park system draws visitors and residents in the community, increasing activity in and around our local businesses, improves quality of life, making Lathrup Village a more desirable place to live, work, and shop. Supports business attraction, retention, as amenities such as well-maintained parks are increasingly important to entrepreneurs, employees, and young families choosing where to locate. It enhances community events, programming, creating opportunities for partnerships between businesses, the DDA, and Parks and Recreation. By funding the additional time, the DDA ensures that the business corridor benefits from a stronger, more cohesive community identity and anchored by high-quality public spaces. So 4.5 hours a week would be $112.50 per week. Annually, it would be $5,850. I spoke with our Director of Finance regarding what is currently budgeted in the city's budget for Parks and Recreation. And currently, they're $4,000, but some of that funds go to reimbursing our Parks and Recreation Committee on purchases they make for different events they host. So they do trivia night, they do road rally, and they also do our food truck. So today is actually our last food truck Friday. So some of the funds goes to items, miscellaneous items they need to purchase to pull off these events and reimburse. So some of the funding would come from the DDA, but the DDA already has a cost share agreement with the city, and it is coming up to be renegotiated soon. So I think this would be a good faith effort going into those negotiations, that the DDA is willing to spend money outside of the DDA district to enhance public amenities that attract both visitors and residents. And also, just a personal insight, there are a lot of young families locating in the Southfield area. There's a lot of people coming and living in Southfield, and Lathrup Village should also be on the radar. And something those families look for is a strong park system. And right now we have a grant for the playscape here on City Hall grounds in Municipal Park, and that is in the DDA district. And we are currently looking to find the matching funds to release the funds to give us the opportunity to make the playscape more ADA accessible. It's sunk down about 12 inches, so we want to raise that up, and then also have new equipment installed that's both modern and ADA accessible. And so we are working to find those matching funds for the grant. We need 100,000. Yeah, for the playscape here.
Oh, no, we're way more than that.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah, we have a grant outstanding with the MDNR going through review right now. If we were to redo that park, it's gonna cost the city / DDA and whoever $600,000 plus.
And that's a scaled down version of what was originally proposed. So it's very costly to do park improvements. And when it comes to grants, that's one of the most sought after grants by communities. And with us having less than 5% of our population under the age of 18, it really hurts us when we do apply for grants. There are communities that have a large youth population with young families, so they kind of have a more advantageous and are more successful in applying for infrastructure grants for park equipment. So if we had somebody such as Tom to be on these grants, looking for them, identifying them, looking in unique ways to find the funding to enhance these infrastructure improvements, it could be successful and provide parks and recreation that staff member they're looking for. And Bruce does serve as the city council liaison. Bruce?
Yeah, the only thing I would add to what you said, I thought you did a good job of covering all. I think a lot of the events that they hold are in the DDA district.
Yes.
And you know, some of these hours would be going towards helping them with things like scheduling, promotion, you know, payment, registration, that kind of stuff. So, and like I said, most of the events that they're throwing are in the DDA. Food Truck Fridays. So those are things that promote the DDA as well.
So I have a question. So this position is not in the budget?
Currently, no.
Okay, so you're adding a position to the budget.
This is the,
It's adding hours to our
Hours.
budget. Yeah, as of right now, the reason we have Tom here is because DDA has to approve the part-time intern special projects within the budget. This would just be adding to it.
Okay. Then another question. You talked about grant writing. I thought that was part of your role as a director with regards to looking for grants and so forth.
we do, and we also have a grant consultant, Tabitha, who we meet with on a monthly basis. And one of the top items we bring to her is parks and recreation type grants and funding for Playscape, because the Playscape at Siracuat Park is, it's lived its life.
Right.
And
So this job really won't be looking at grants. That's what I'm trying to understand.
no, it's just, it's one small aspect of it will be helping identify those grants, doing the research, doing the on-site assessment of the parks, and finding ways that we can improve our park system here. And also, Tom, if you want to step up for a moment, you had some ideas about doing some co-ed leagues.
Yeah, so I've always felt that one thing about a Parks and Rec is the rec. I grew up in a city that did have a wide array of rec leagues, and being a rather unathletic kid myself, having some way to be athletic and have some fun with some other kids did actually make a difference. I made quite a few friends, and I got some good activity. Now we do have a youthful base coming in, young families are starting to move in, but we've also got a couple of I'm not going to say older, but middle-aged and
Mature.
Mature. There's a good one. Thank you. Got some, mature residents here as well. So giving them an option and some avenues for just something to do. Everyone's looking for something to do. No one wants to be cooped up inside all day. So giving them an option for a rec league might be a revenue generator for the city, because you can buy the equipment relatively cheap, and you can charge them for leagues, to start up a team, things of that nature. So I figure that something like that could be done. There's also, like Austin said, I can research more grants. I can do a lot of the day-to-day that the committee, the Parks and Rec committee, just can't do. They can't do the setup for the events. They can't do the sign up and organizing everything. So if I can take 4 hours a week and just do a real quick setup, then that's an easy 4 hours, and that's less for them to do, because they've got careers too. I mean, they've got jobs that they're trying to do. They've got kids and families that they're trying to be with. So it's just a way for the city to kind of give a liaison to them that can handle a lot of the front work.
Yeah, it'll provide some efficiency too, because
Yeah.
right now, for example, scheduling. They don't have access to the room schedule. They don't have access to the parks or the gazebo schedule or the pavilion, and so there's a lot of inefficiency going back and forth where Tom could just do that.
And also, there's nobody for residents or business owners who want to be involved to reach out to. Right. There's not an email or a phone number for them to communicate with, and this gives somebody in the city to represent Parks and Recreation in providing the assets that new residents look for in a community when considering where to move.
So I just want to go back and
Yes.
have one last question. So there's a shortfall with regards to the cost for the hours?
Yes, it would have to come out of our fund balance, and we would But I think it would be a good faith effort when we go into negotiations with the city for cost sharing, that we are willing to put up our own funds to help enhance our park system. And like Bruce said, one of our largest green spaces in the DDA, one of our main parks, municipal park, is here in the DDA. And a lot of the events that currently go on through parks is, when it comes to Food Truck Friday, it comes to the classes that they've been teaching, they're occurring here in City Hall, which is in the heart of our village center, which is our DDA district.
So how will we evaluate by adding this role that it's going to accomplish?
That's a good question. And I think that's something we can discuss. What is it that we want to see achieved, and how do we evaluate if those hours are being used effectively?
Exactly.
So if anybody has any ideas, or that's something we can develop as time goes on, or something we can develop and bring to you next month.
I think that, honestly, that all committees need to have a meeting regarding priorities and strategy before making any changes, because this is Parks and Recs is not the only thing that's now on the chopping block from what I just received. So I think that between the Planning Commission, the DDA, and I guess Parks and Rec, well, our committee, starting with the Planning Commission, the DDA, and Council, we need to first set not policies, but figure out what our priorities are and how we want to go about.
Right now, we do have a joint meeting for our study session on October 6th scheduled as a kickoff for our master plan and Parks and Recreation plan update. So the updating of our comprehensive plan has two aspects to it. One is the master plan, and the other is our Parks and Recreation. And we have a joint meeting scheduled for the study session on October 6th. We can invite the DDA board, we can invite Planning Commission.
Yeah, we still got a couple things behind the scenes to finalize, but formal invites will go out early next week if we formally make that change to a joint meeting and doing all that.
Yeah. And we can discuss what it is that we want to see achieved, because I think all of the boards and committees moving in the same direction is the most efficient process, and making it simpler rather than overcomplicating it where each committee and board is operating in their own silo. It's like, let's just get together, talk it out, and see what direction we all want to move in.
Yeah, and I think to address your question a little bit about the measuring the success. I mean, there's also I guess I would call it an intangible success, in that we keep the committee going. So the four ladies that are working this committee, they work their butts off. They work really, really hard, and they are burning out, and they're getting frustrated. And when things happen with inefficiency with the scheduling or the payment, they just keep getting more and more frustrated, and I'm concerned as the liaison that we're going to lose them. And I think having some additional support from the city will help alleviate some of that. And so I think, from an intangible perspective, I think just the fact that we could keep them in those roles, I think would be a big success, because they're burning out. They work really, really hard, and like Tom said, they have jobs and other things they need to do in their lives with their kids and so forth. So it's a labor of love for them, but it's also getting to be, they're getting burned out.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
So that's bothering me. Did they ever state what they were having issues with? Because of the small things I heard, it sounds like they could be fixed with like us automating certain things, or just getting more current, like the overbooking, the people not knowing costs. We could schedule, you know what I mean? It's finding out what their issues are. So
yeah, I mean, we met with them
to be more efficient, like
and we're going to develop a list of that. But I mean, things like, I jotted down a few things like promotion for the events, vendor management, registrations, payments, scheduling, things like that. Yeah, so just.
And they are working really hard, and they are actually being very successful with the events they're planning. Trivia night actually brings in funding. The road rally, the food trucks, they were a big component of how successful the family area of this last week's music festival was, all run by the Parks and Rec Committee. They took it and ran with it, made it their own. And like Bruce said, they have a lot to balance. They're full-time, they work full-time, they have families they're raising, and they're doing this all out of the love of their heart. And they're not getting paid for it, so we don't want to lose them because they are a really big asset to us.
Yeah, and we,
I think that once again, what I'm saying is that it needs to be a meeting with all the boards before we spend money.
Okay.
Just to find out what the priority is, because like I said, the Children's Garden just gave me a letter and long discussion. And so that's a new venture that we would have to take over. And so because of that alone, that's why I'm like, let's press pause for a second, because 4 hours is not going to be enough if we have to take over the Children's Garden. And so we all need to come together and kind of the board, all the committees if they want to be a part of it. Because one thing is that I don't want us to, yes, everybody's doing a very good job and I appreciate them. So we all are working. Everybody that's on a board or committee is not paid either, and we're doing it all out of the love of our hearts. But the fact is, I think that we need to do it right and do the prioritizing what's important. Like, because people like the events. I like the events, but I think that giving money to something and if we're still not accomplishing what they want is not a smart move just yet.
And I just want to add to that. A lot of times we want to add people versus looking at processes and really doing a quality analysis of the work that people are doing and how they're doing it to help improve them. Going back to what Danielle said, maybe it's some automation that could be added.
I agree.
Yeah.
And full disclosure too, like coming up in October, after I get this big move of mine taken care of, I'm going to be taking classes for grant writing. So I'm going to be expediting that. I'm going to be, I've got contacts in multiple cities who work in Parks and Rec from prior internships that I've had, and I can talk to them about modernizing some of our systems. So there can be those discussions that I can have to help figure out what we can do and do what you said, modernize those things. But I can do
and I
that
hear what
even
you're saying, because what I hear
without.
is being said, they need some administrative arm to help direct them. But my question is, do we need to look at their processes first before you think about adding a body?
Yeah, so I have experience in doing this, and when I find that things are very inefficient, we kind of just do a log of the things that we are doing. Like in my company, I have them do it for like a month straight, and then you can see where things are inefficient. Like, you've been taking 3 hours doing this, or like this is why you're burning out, because you guys are spending too much on this. And it's not about who's right or wrong, it's just a lot of things that we do physically can be done with systems and automation.
You can look at workflows.
You don't need another person to do a lot of these things. So this additional 4 hours could possibly be covered by a system. And even more than that 4 hours, to be honest.
Right.
And I agree. And you and I have had some great conversations about how artificial intelligence can help with some of those processes. And Dr. Felton, I completely agree that a lot of times we think throwing money at a problem is what's going to help, but really it's not the money is the problem. It's the process.
Yeah.
So this was brought to our attention. This was discussed on Monday during our study session, so we wanted to bring it to you all to discuss. And this is something we can continue having a discussion on. So we can meet with the boards and the committees and meet more with Parks and Recreation and with Bruce, who's got firsthand knowledge. He's been there at the meetings and find out exactly what is it that we want Tom to do during these 4.5 hours, and what processes, where's the shortfall and where's the process breaking down.
Right.
Do a little audit of that.
And sometimes when you do that, it may not just need his role, it may be a total different role if you look at the whole system, the way the mayor is talking about, so that we're very conclusive.
I agree.
All right, here's where I'm coming from. I totally agree that volunteers can't shoulder all this on their own. They do need support from city staff. I am a bit disappointed that we can't just find a way among city staff to absorb this, but it might be a bigger, a bigger task than it is at all possible. I'm not convinced either that 4.5 hours is really needed every week of the year, because I presume there's fewer events in the wintertime typically than there is in the summertime. So I'd like to see more evaluation of exactly, what he would be doing and how much time is really necessary. The other thing I have a little bit of concern about is, should the DDA be the one to pay the bill here? There is I've read the justification, and it's a little tenuous, but you can make that argument. However, I don't think when it extends to like improving Serackwood Park or any of the other non-downtown parks.
And also, I just want to bring to everyone's attention, one of the biggest issues with Serackwood is that it does not qualify for most grants. Because if any of the roads surrounding the park are not paved, that means it's not ADA accessible, which disqualifies it. So it's a very difficult situation with Serackwood. It needs to be updated. The park equipment needs to be evaluated, but the funding is not there, and also the attempts to get the funding have been unsuccessful or not even possible because of the current condition of the roads.
Right.
Well, like I said, I think that if we, like we said, we all met and figured out what the actual issues are and then what the priorities should be, we can figure out systems, and I think it will take a lot of stress off of the 4 women and just for everything, like,
I agree.
So I won't say the money is not needed, but I think right now we need to figure out what the issues
There's not
are
enough
and what's the
information
priority.
at the
Yeah.
time. And I can't speak more highly of them. I think they're very effective at what they do, but Bruce is right. They're burned out.
Yeah.
They got a lot going on in their personal lives. They've taken on a lot, and most, if not all, initiatives they've taken on, they've been successful with.
Yeah.
So
They're probably doing a lot of manual stuff too.
Yeah.
A lot of paper sign-ups. A lot of that stuff could be eliminated.
mhm.
So I had input a little bit. I thought about it last year, but what if, I don't know if we can do this with the rules or whatever, what if we started coupling our events like the Winterfest with some type of fundraising to get the community involved with raising the money for the park? Because every
That's a great
time you
idea.
say that, Mike's face kind of be like, oh, no, where we get this money from? So maybe we can like fold the community in so they could, because it's where their kids are going to play.
I agree.
Yeah. Are we allowed to fundraise and do stuff like
We've done that in the past, it just hasn't been tremendously
Yeah.
successful. Like, for example, when we were trying to get the grant for, I think it was $850,000 to redo the whole park and the parking lot and everything. I think we raised $2,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was just
I'm
under
pretty sure it'll be a
2,000.
long-term fundraising thing, but I've never fundraised before. Like, I do a little quarter of the year, but I never did such a large amount, so I'm not saying it like it's easy.
Right.
But is that something that we should possibly look into?
And they do little things, like, for example, well, this isn't Parks and Rec, but like at the music festival, the tips to the bar go to the park.
Oh, okay.
They do things where, some of the registration fee and some of these events will go to the park, but it's nothing major.
In full disclosure, too, I mean, Danielle, you nailed it when you said that it was going to be a long-term thing. Back in Fraser, my hometown, we had a park that we were trying to redo. It was rusted out piece of junk, and it took us well over 10 years to get the money together to try and do that. And it's a beautiful park now, but it took a long time to get the fundraiser going. So it's not easy, and it is a long-term investment, but it's...
Can they make the motion to table?
Yeah.
this?
Yep, support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Final item, monthly director report.
Thank you. And because last month we were not able to meet, I'll go over last month's and this month's. So we did have we have our last Food Truck Friday today, so please come on out. We today or last month there was a business plan, developing business plan program offered by Oakland Thrive. Yesterday we had the local Chase Bank here, which was talking with residents about fraud and how they could prevent it.
Sorry,
No, it's fine. And then, so business update, 26600 Southfield Road, the new flagship store for Holbrook Auto Parts. They received a zoning board of appeals variance to the city's sign ordinance to expand the signage size for the principal wall sign. It's currently being developed and manufactured and should be installed shortly. Next door at 27320 Southfield Road, Lush Nails is completing their interior build out. Next door to them at 27330 Southfield Road, the Vapor Shop is also completing their interior build out. Next door at 27700 Southfield Road, on Monday, the adaptive reuse of Annie Lathrup School was the payment in lieu of taxes application was approved. So they are waiting on the state's, the Michigan State Housing Development Authority to review their application, which will occur during the next meeting during the first week of October. And that will really determine if they do have the funding to pursue and proceed with the project. Let's see over here. At 26710 Southfield Road, Babylon Printing, they're installing the equipment for the new screen printing business. There's not much interior renovation needed, so it's just installation of equipment. 26720 Southfield Road, Curl Me Crazy is the installation of a new wall sign. Discount Tire at 27000 Southfield Road is doing a complete interior build out of their showroom and restrooms as well as their lobby. 27320 Southfield Road, Modern Suit and Clothing is completing their interior build out. We do have the continued installation of 2 EV charging stations here at City Hall. It is on the back part of the parking lot along Municipal Park. The contractor to install the Hawk signal south of 696 at Southfield Road and Kilbreeny Avenue is scheduled. The work has begun and the estimated completion date is November 1st. The final payment for FY25 alleyway improvements has been completed by finance. So we did do a PSA. Jim, Tom, and I went last Friday to the new golf simulator, Mauer Greens, and did an interview with their owner. So we're hoping to have that video up soon. And that's something we're looking to do for new businesses. And we're going to have a grand opening for them as well. Bruce and I had a great conversation with the owners of Bigby Coffee during the music festival, and they expressed their desire to have a 1-year anniversary and kind of like a new grand opening. So we're going to work with them to have that. We're going to invite everybody here to be there, all city council, administrative staff, PD, make a big deal about it so that they can get some great publicity they can put up on their social media, and we can put up on ours. We did receive I don't think I've informed you that the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, for the efforts spearheaded by Tom to get our redevelopment ready community certification from them, resulted in a $28,000 grant to go towards our master plan update. So, and then also the Historic District Commission earlier this year approved for a grant with from the Detroit Institute of Art for a mural to be installed, and as many of you have noticed, it has begun. So they're underway. What do you think? Spring, summer next year will be completed?
No, it should be done hopefully within the next couple weeks. And
okay.
And we're meeting with the DI. Yeah.
I was like, how long is it going to paint that?
I'm not a painter, so I don't know how long it's going to
Yeah, just based on her schedule. When she comes, she knocks a good chunk out. But in
Now,
the next
where's the
couple weeks,
mural?
It's on the side.
it's on the admin side.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, and then next couple weeks
Next year.
we'll actually meet with the DIA as they like to do mural. I don't want to say reveals, as you can see it. Mural completion like celebrations, and we'll schedule that coming up.
And it's a local artist. She's from Oak Park, so far it's looking great. There's 2 other items I want to bring to your attention. Michigan State University, their School of Planning, Design, and Construction, the final project for seniors and graduate students is a practicum, and they do work with public sector entities. So they might work with a road commission, they might work for a city or a county to work on a project that requires an actual deliverable. So when I was a senior there in 2011, I worked on downtown market analysis for the city of Portland, Michigan. So there's 2 graduate students, 3 undergraduates. So they're always open to cities reaching out and requesting a project. So we have been discussing having a downtown market analysis to look at what businesses, what type of businesses are we missing here in our downtown?
Families.
And it also provides action items to complete
Oh, good.
the project. So that would be the deliverable we request. It does cost $3,500 to engage and receive a successful application that would result in students coming here and working the entire spring semester on the project. So usually it would cost about 25, 30 grand to hire a consultant. So we can kind of, for a fraction, get a high deliverable from them. So that's something we've been discussing internally and potentially come to you later this year. This would be something that goes kind of alongside our master plan update. So, early in the
And that
discussion.
sounds like something may tie into what the mayor was talking about, being more cohesive.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. And then an idea we've been kicking around for a while. So Main Street America recommends that Main Street Programs, which we are an affiliate of Main Street America and a member of Main Street Oakland County, that 10% of the budget comes from donations, which requires a nonprofit to be set up. So Berkeley has a Friends of the Berkeley DDA. So we are in early talks with Main Street Oakland County to engage in getting technical assistance to hire for the attorney fees required to have a 501c3 set up. And currently the way I envision it, the board would be set up of members of the Lathrup Village Music Festival Planning Committee, but also Juneteenth Planning Committee, so that these are dual efforts done by the DDA on an annual basis. We run into a lot of roadblocks with the music festival that not having a nonprofit, a lot of the grants that could help fund these type of events require you to be a 501c3. So we're disqualified right off the bat from even applying. So that's something that I would like to get established and something that we can use both for fundraising, but also for reaching out to grants. Even if you wanted to apply for a grant with Home Depot for fencing, it would require to be a 501c3. So that's all I got this month, and we'll keep you updated on those efforts as well as the efforts when it comes to Parks and Rec.
All right, very interesting meeting. Now shall we adjourn? Do we need a motion to adjourn?
Yep, we're good, Jared.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Very good.